Welcome again to Real Grace, Real Truth. We're continuing a discussion with my brother Danny on this topic of truth. Both of us grew up in a society where truth was valued more, and also with a father who had a strong value of always telling the truth. We're continuing this discussion to go along with my book titled The Truth About the Truth. And you can get your copy at wisdomtreebookpublishing.com. So I wrote the book because I'm I'm interested in what has happened to this whole concept of truth. So I brought my brother Danny in so we could discuss our thoughts throughout the years of growing up and having a father that valued the truth. So let's bring him in now and listen to our conversation.
He wanted us to be a man of our word, and the truth mattered. So those go together. That's what happened inside me. Those things went together. My word and my action had to be the same. You know, like I couldn't be phony.
That's
So
all.
that gave me like something to reach for and strive for. You know, be the best I can, and don't exaggerate. You know, just stay with it. Stay with the truth. That's a neat thing. Honesty. That was another thing, because again, I could look to the left or I could look to the right with some of my friends, and it's like they could be real with me, but they weren't really real with, and not that I was all that real either. I don't know. I was just a kid, I was as real as I knew how to be, but I did have that as a conviction on the inside of me that don't lie, don't lie. Don't be phony. That's the thing. And even anything that we say will be good for somebody, because who knows where they're at, you know what I mean? And who knows, because truth is light. That's what it is, period. The word itself, has to have some meaning to somebody, even if it's get that out of my eyes. You know what I mean? It's like the light, they don't want to be in it. The truth, they don't want to be around it because they don't know how to live in that, that's a whole nother thing. But then again, see, the world that they live, the world they live in, and the way that they view it makes impressions, and they don't feel safe. That was one. Here's something important. I felt safe in the truth. I felt like I felt safer there. And that's a big deal.
Right. You bring up a good point, because I'm wondering how safe people feel in the truth, because you can't feel safe if the truth exposes your lies that
Yeah,
you're standing on.
makes some people feel vulnerable. But that's
Uh-huh.
why I was glad I was already comfortable with it. I don't have to. I'm not concerned too much. I mean, in ways it was good, because I don't know. It's weird because I grew up very self-conscious too. But I think that combated it, because that was just part of my insecurities, I guess. You know what I mean? There were some, but but that was just head trip stuff. It wasn't because that was more feeling like a measuring up thing. You know what I mean? I don't know. I know more that concept of truth, and then the place that it held on the inside of me as far as who I am and what I present to the world. I felt comfortable with truth. I really, it's hard for me to lie. I just didn't grow up doing it. You know what I mean? So I stayed away from certain things. Again, that's another thing too. He always used to talk about, thinking about what you're doing, the consequence it could have. You might have a plan, but think it through, because there's always cause and effect. There's
Right.
consequence. Even if you're going to do something wrong, if you're going to do something wrong, okay, fine. But think about, what if it doesn't go the way you want and you get caught?
Mm-hmm.
You gotta pay the price. You can't whine. I mean, hey, you play the game, you pay the price. There's truth in that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
There's something solid there. And that was along the way. Now, I'm not out trying to do anything wrong right now. That's not it. It's just that it did make me think. Hey, yeah, if I'm not willing to pay the price, don't play the game. You know what I mean? Don't do that. And that kept
Right.
me at least true to myself. You know what I mean? That was one of the stepping stones, so to speak, of truth that had how it had an effect on me. You know?
Something that Dad shared with us, right? He'd say, "Don't play the game if you're not willing to pay the price." And so
Yeah, he'd
that would
always
hit me, and I'm like, "Oh, okay." And if I was willing to pay the price, I might play the game, you know.
Yeah.
But if I wasn't, it made me stop and think, you know. And if I got caught, I was willing to pay the price because I knew that was part of the deal.
Yeah, that was part of the deal.